Unit 731. When science abandoned humanity in war, death is expected. But there are places where death was not the consequence, it was the objective. This is the story of Unit 731. In the late 1930s, in Japanese-occupied Manchuria, a military compound was built near the city of Harbin. It appeared ordinary. Fences, barracks, laboratories. No signs, no name. Officially, it was a disease prevention unit, a place of research meant to protect soldiers. In reality, it was a factory of suffering. Those brought inside were never called prisoners. They were called logs. A word chosen carefully because logs do not feel pain. Logs do not scream. Logs do not matter. Men, women, children, reduced to raw material. Doctors in white coats observed without emotion. They did not ask questions. They did not offer comfort. People were deliberately exposed to deadly illnesses, not to find cures, but to document decline. Fever, weakness, silence. Every reaction was measured. Every outcome recorded. When the body failed, the experiment was complete. Another subject was brought in. Winter was not an obstacle. It was a tool. Victims were subjected to extreme cold so researchers could observe how flesh, blood, and nerves responded to freezing. Limbs lost sensation. Movement slowed. Pain became distant, then overwhelming. The scientists wrote calmly, as if they were observing machines. What makes Unit 731 uniquely terrifying is not just what happened, it's how normal it became. This was not chaos. This was routine. Schedules were followed. Reports were filed. Careers were advanced. Evil did not scream here. It whispered and wore a lab coat. Nearby villagers noticed things. Smoke that never stopped. Trucks that arrived full and left empty. People vanished. No explanations were given, and no one dared ask. By 1945, Japan was losing the war. Inside Unit 731, panic replaced precision. Records were destroyed. Buildings were demolished. Witnesses were eliminated. Not to protect lives, but to erase guilt. When the war ended, justice was expected. It never came. Instead, many of those responsible were granted immunity in exchange for their research. No trials, no sentences, no accountability. The knowledge survived. The victims did not. For decades, Unit 731 was barely mentioned. Textbooks skipped it. Governments avoided it. Survivors were ignored. History chose convenience over truth. Unit 731 is not just a story about war. It is a story about what happens when intelligence replaces empathy, when progress outweighs morality, when human beings become expendable. The experiments ended, but the warning remains. Because the most frightening thing about Unit 731, it's not just that it was there. It's that it actually could happen.